Hey guys, we just saw Werewolves. What was that main actor? Frank Grillo?
Yeah, Frank Grillo.
Yeah, he was also in Skylines. It was pretty good. Like for what it is, I was telling them it looks like a better Asylum movie quality wise. Overall, I would just jump right to it. I'd probably give it like, I think for what it is, I would give it an 8. Just for like lower budget werewolf movie, pretty good pacing overall. The practical werewolf effects were really good.
Yeah,
Like extremely good. And for the little bit where they did have CG for some of the transformations, it was pretty good too.
yeah.
Acting was fine, overall. Really funny scenes that were like, I think, unintentionally hilarious. Long kind of like dolly shot with like the handy cam or whatever. The cameras go through, and the girl's just like, and then one shot where like literally she's trying to get in the car, and like she's like,
Come on, come on, come on! No! No!
and like a hand comes down and like plucks her, stuff like that.
He like smiles at the camera
Yeah.
during it too. It's
Yeah.
so good.
And then like the main doctor, like he's not. I don't think he's the best actor. He's not a terrible actor, but like just his acting in the beginning was very much like this, and then don't do this, don't do this, and then blah blah. It was just a great combination of a bunch of stuff, and it didn't take itself too seriously, which is good.
I'm gonna go a little bit bonkers. This movie, like, I heard is like, The Purge, but with werewolves, and for me, it personally delivered on all fronts. There's like a little bit in the middle, like when the gas station scene was like it's dipping a little, but then like just immediately, like just something funny happens, and like it just gets more and more ridiculous, and it slowly amps up through the movie. Where the point there's like a scene where they're like talking to some guy like, "Don't shoot us. We have the like spoiler alert cure for werewolves," and then like. They're just talking, I was like, what? And then, like, out of fucking nowhere, like, flying from, like, 3-4 stories high, a werewolf drops onto him and kills him instantly, but he's dressed up like a fucking 1980s punk rocker for some reason. And they're like, okay, how do we get past these werewolves? And she's like, I have an idea, I'll distract them. And then she just walks up to this fucking punk rock werewolf and just, like, screams in his face.
That was it. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a dominance thing. Like, if you show more dominance, the werewolves will like back down. I don't.
Yeah, that was the whole conversation there in the alley where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
wolves only understand do 3 things: dominance, running away, and fighting. But like, yeah, for me, I like it was everything I wanted it to be, and it was paced well, and like again, the werewolf prosthetics were fucking amazing for a practical effect. Like, I don't know what the budget of the movie was, but like. Honestly, it's some of the best looking werewolves I've seen in a fucking while since like American Werewolf in London or some shit. To the point where it's like I'm gonna watch Wolfman soon, and I'm gonna be fucking sorely disappointed. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like earlier, like I guess in the first act of the movie, like she sees her neighbor get killed by a werewolf, and then she looks over at her dead husband's like photo on the mantle. She's like, "Fuck you, John. You had to be a hero and leave us alone." Out of like nowhere, and it was so good. And then like the like dolly shot where she's like looking through the house, randomly shooting the shotgun at like werewolves. We never see her actually shoot, but it's implied that she's killing them. The kid is just sitting on the chair and like waiting for the camera to finally phase her, and then she just goes like, ah!
It's like she was waiting for someone off like the camera to be like, and then the camera gets close enough.
Biggest spoiler of the fucking movie. At the beginning of the movie, I was hoping there was going to be a fucking scene where, like, there's some werewolf, and then Frank Grillo, like, has to turn himself into a werewolf to fight the other werewolf, and it fucking happens. and for that, I had to give it a 9 out of 10.
I want to say 8, but like there were a few things that kind of pissed me off throughout the entire movie, and it was the like frequent lens flares. They were using some filter on like the camera that just like intensify the lens flares. They're so distracting, and then like there's so many shots that were out of focus that were really bugging me. But other than that, I think it was great. I enjoyed how they respected our time. They didn't give us like we started out like this is the first movie. They started out year 2. Like they dealt with the first outbreak. They didn't give us really any backstory other than like I guess the title screen saying like, oh, like the first outbreak, like 1 billion people like turned or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it kind of just starts off like right off the bat where it's just like, we're getting into wolf action. So I don't know, I liked it. Yeah, so I'd say 8. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, there's like a lot of scenes where there's just like this really intense like light pulsing, which like looked pretty cool. But like, yeah, it's A part of me thinks that like a lot of the lens flares and lighting stuff was just to hide how fucking out of focus the camera was sometimes. Yeah, the first like Werewolf Labs transforming, they have these like 4 test subjects that they're gonna like test whether this like sunscreen stops people from turning into werewolves, and like 2 of them are normal. It's like the scientist lady's husband and then like some lady. But then the other 2 guys are like fucking Walmart Wolverine with the haircut and the fucking Joker, and he is like emaciated and is going like.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, no. So 8, 9, and then I guess what 8?
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good. That's a good
Yeah.
sweep.
Yeah. Best movie
Yeah.
of 2025.